Hello, my name is Leighton Jernigan, and today I will be talking about how to tell the difference between a status offender and a juvenile delinquent. Much like the adult justice system, offenders in the juvenile justice system can be classified into groups based off of different criteria. There are two main groups of offenders seen going through the system: status offenders and juvenile delinquents. In this paper, I'll discuss both what a status offender is, what a juvenile delinquent is, and how an offender can be classified as both. A status offender is a juvenile, which is someone between 7 and 17, who commits an act that would not be seen as a crime if done by an adult, but still brings the juvenile to the attention of the courts. These status offenses can include things like runaways, truancy, curfew violation, and underage liquor violations. These offenses wouldn't be considered a crime if a legal-aged person were to do them, but get brought to the attention of the courts because of the age of the person involved. These offenders are also brought to the attention of the courts because they can be grouped together with more serious offenses, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Running away from home is a very common status offense. This one can be tough because a lot of juveniles do just completely run away from home, but others are kicked out by their parents or guardians. A runaway is a juvenile who leaves their home with no permission and they don't make the parents aware of where they're going or what they're doing. Runaways can be really complex cases and can also lead to committing actual crimes such as selling drugs and prostitution to financially support being out on your own. Truancy is another status offense, which is when a child is absent from school without parental permission. While adults in college can miss as many days as we want without breaking the law, you're just wasting your money, juvenile skipping school is a big issue. Curfew violations also fall under status offenses. That's when a juvenile is caught out in the city streets after a given time in the evening. Once again, adults can go out whenever they want at any point in time and not be arrested just for being out on the streets late at night. If you're acting a fool, then yeah, you can get in trouble, but you can't get arrested for just being out. A curfew was set during the 1990s to help reduce juvenile crimes because a lot of the time when people are out at 2 and 3 in the morning, you're not up to any good. The last category of status offenses are liquor violations. People over the age of 21 can purchase and consume alcohol within reason, unlike juveniles who can't do it at all. However, many juveniles figure out how to get their hands on it and use it in ways that they shouldn't. When a person under legal drinking age is caught with alcohol, they are in violation of the liquor law and they can be arrested or ticketed depending on what they're doing. While every status offender gets attention from the juvenile courts, they are most interested in repeat and chronic status offenders because they could escalate. Unlike status offenders, juvenile delinquents commit an actual crime that would be considered a crime no matter what the age of the person was. Delinquents break any United States law and they're seen as being in need of rehabilitation and supervision. Robbery, drug offenses, and assault are three kind of common forms of juvenile delinquency that we see. Drinking and driving is another example of a juvenile committing a delinquent act because at no point is that legal. Juvenile delinquency is more serious than status offenders and they result in more serious punishments usually, because in a status offense it actually can affect other people can get hurt, killed, stuff like that. In some cases, a juvenile can be committing a status offense and being a juvenile delinquent. A well-known case of this is the case of Ethan Couch that we all know about. He started off with underage drinking, which is considered a status offense because he's under 21. When he made the decision to get in the vehicle and drive, he stepped up to being a juvenile delinquent. The amount of alcohol in his system would be enough to arrest anybody who is trying to drive like that. Hitting and killing people while under the influence of alcohol the way he did is an extreme case of juvenile delinquency because people actually died. While both types get attention from the juvenile courts, status offenders are less serious than the juvenile delinquents. By separating the two, the juvenile courts have come up with ways to deal with both of them and not have such the bad stigma that goes along with being considered a delinquent. Thank you.